Have you ever had a dream that you deeply desired but somehow it never became a reality? Have you ever watched others achieve their goals while you felt stuck? You're not alone. Most of us have faced that moment of doubt. Some people seem to have unlocked the secret to success. They know exactly what they want and go after it fearlessly. So what's stopping you from doing the same? In today's video on Book Pulse, we'll explore a book that unveils why success seems to favor some people over others. This book is more than just advice. It's a step-by-step guide that will help you transform your dreams into reality. It walks you through the process of dreaming big, setting clear goals, and finally achieving your aspirations. What makes this book truly special is that each chapter includes actionable steps, practical exercises to help you master the habits and strategies of successful people. If you're ready to unlock your potential, stay tuned to discover these powerful insights. And before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Book Pulse and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Importance of attitude. Building a positive attitude. Have you ever wondered why some individuals, organizations, or businesses achieve outstanding success while others fall short? The answer lies in quality. By quality, we mean the caliber of people and the decisions they make. In the journey to success, attitude is the defining factor that separates the high achievers from the underperformers. Just as a sturdy building requires a solid foundation, every thriving business is built on what we call TQP, top quality people. These are individuals who, when added to your team, are driven to excel and elevate the overall standard of your work or organization. Research shows that most people are hired not because of their resume, but because of their attitude. A positive outlook on both work and life is a cornerstone of success. Our attitudes are shaped by our environment, education, and experiences. A person with a positive mindset is thoughtful, confident, patient, and resourceful. To become a top-quality individual, you need to cultivate positivity, practice it daily until it becomes second nature, and continuously seek knowledge. Additionally, it's crucial to steer clear of negative influences, whether it's pessimistic people or harmful distractions like certain TV shows. The story of Hafiz. One day, a visit from a wise man changed the life of an African farmer named Hafiz. Hafiz was happy living and working on his farm, but that all changed with simple words from the wise man. The wise man told Hafiz that diamonds could make him rich. He said if he had a diamond as big as his thumb, he could own a city, and if the diamond was as big as his fist, he could buy a whole country. This idea kept Hafiz awake all night long. He became unhappy, so he decided to sell his farm and go seeking diamonds. He traveled everywhere until he reached Spain. By then, he was broke, exhausted, and without any hope of finding diamonds. In despair, Hafiz jumped into a river and ended his life. What Hafiz didn't realize was that back home, everything had changed. The man who bought his land found diamonds in his own river. One day, the new farmer was enjoying the morning sun and saw something sparkling in the water stream. When the wise man visited the new owner of the land, they both realized that Hafiz had been living on a diamond mine all along. This shows that positive attitude is everything. If Hafiz had maintained positivity and believed in his own assets, he could have become the richest of all. Instead, his negative attitude led to hopelessness and the loss of his life. Success. Winning strategies. We now know that success is an outcome of our attitude. Our attitude is a choice, so success is a matter of choice and not luck. To progress in life, we need to keep exploring opportunities and not just be satisfied with what we have. Success is a subjective word. It's the journey of achieving your ambitions one after the other. Obstacles don't matter. Every success story has failure in its history. Remember Thomas Edison. He failed about 10,000 times before succeeding in making a light bulb. Oh, have a mentality of success. You need to have a strong desire to succeed, commitment, and responsibility. You must also be willing to work harder than others. Success also comes to those who are patient, caring for others, have a kind personality, and a positive attitude. You also need to be able to manage your time for the greatest results and be determined when facing difficult moments. Most people give up when they're about to achieve their highest profit, yet dare to take risks. World of business. Prepared. Believe in the laws of nature and make them work for you. Also, never forget to be grateful and to learn from your mistakes. A young man once asked Socrates about the secrets of success. Socrates told him to meet him the next day at the river. As they were walking and got closer to the river, Socrates grabbed the man by the neck and pushed him down into the water. The man couldn't breathe and struggled to escape Socrates' grasp, but Socrates was stronger. The man struggled until his face went blue. Finally, Socrates let him go. As the man caught his breath, Socrates asked him what he wanted most when he was underwater. The man replied that he wanted air. Socrates advised him that only when you want success as much as you wanted air will you succeed. A painful but important lesson is learned here. If your desire is strong enough, then all you have left is to apply the principles of success. Motivation. Motivating yourself and others. Every day, the most important question to ask is not how to get something done, but why you're not doing it already. Many people know exactly what they have to do to succeed, but they don't know why they're not doing it. You can be inspired by other people, but you can only be motivated by changing your action plan. Your inner values are the most permanent motivation source in your life. If you believe in some cause, you'll be motivated to do whatever it takes to achieve it. You can be motivated by external factors such as fear, money, and incentives. You can also be motivated by internal qualities such as pride, a sense of achievement, duty, and caring for others. You can motivate people by providing them with the recognition and respect they deserve, supporting them, listening to their needs, and challenging them to always do better. There was a boy who used to play soccer in his school team. The boy was usually in reserves because the coach didn't believe in him. His father always came to see him play, but his son never made it to the team. So the boy stopped coming to practice. Suddenly, he showed up again. It was the finals, and the boy seemed very determined to play this time. He asked his coach to let him play. The coach refused since the pride of the institution was at stake. Everyone was watching. After begging and begging, the coach gave in and allowed him to play. The boy shocked everyone. He was on fire, scored all the goals, and became the star of the game. When the game finished, the coach asked the boy how he did it. He was always poor at soccer, and suddenly he was a star. The boy told him that his father was watching him this time, but his father wasn't there. The coach asked where his father was. The boy replied that his father was blind. Every time he came to practice, he wasn't able to see him play. But today, his father could see him for the first time. The coach asked how. The boy answered that his father was dead. He's now watching him from above. You can be the star of your life if you have strong motivation. Just set clear goals, have high expectations, and move forward in life. Self-esteem. Building a positive self-esteem. The way you think and feel about yourself is important. If you change your self-esteem, your performance will change too. You'll be motivated, cheerful, and ambitious. Avoid working with someone with poor self-esteem. They are not responsible, and they never keep their promises. They are also negative and take more than they prefer to give. Working with someone like this is not good for business. Some people believe that if they pretend their self-esteem is high, others will believe them. But self-esteem is shown through our actions. It shows through what we like and don't like. So there is no need to pretend, as your actions will tell the truth anyway. Where and how you grew up is directly related to your self-esteem. Your environment affects your personality. Your education has a significant function in your self-esteem as well. Discipline is also necessary. Growing with a clear belief system will encourage you to love yourself and to love responsibility. Discipline doesn't go against your freedom. It merely directs you toward the proper path. The key to success is not in doing what you like. Life is not perfect. The key lies in liking what we do. We have to be confident to handle anything that comes our way. To establish a positive self-esteem, you have to replace your bad memories with positive lessons, ignore your limitations, help others, accept and give compliments, and be responsible. If you follow this path, setting goals and achieving them will be easy. Wilma was young when she had a high fever that left her disabled with polio. She was only 4, and the doctor told her that she could never put her foot on the floor again. Wilma had big dreams. She aspired to be the fastest woman on the track. The doctor kept telling her no, but her mother encouraged her. Her mother believed that with persistence and good faith, everything is possible. One day, Wilma took her leg braces off. She stepped on her foot for the first time after her sickness. She wanted to run, so she started competing on the track. She was always the last to arrive at the finish line. Years went by, and Wilma kept on running until finally she won. She went to university and met a good coach. She told the coach about her dream, and he believed in her positive spirit. Wilma went to the Olympics and competed against the fastest women on track. She beat the champion in 3 races and returned home with 3 gold medals. Wilma made history for being the first paralytic woman to win the race in the Olympics. Building social skills, building a pleasing personality. George Washington once said that what the world needs isn't product expertise but people knowledge. People need to be charming, and they have to care and connect with others. Building strong connections is important in the world of business. Life is an echo. Everything you send to the world is reflected back at you. If you send love and positivity, you'll receive both. Stay away from the things that stop you from creating strong interactions with people. Avoid being selfish, unpleasant, dishonest, and distrustful of others. To establish a decent personality, you need to be responsible, considerate of others' needs, and delicate with your words. Don't criticize and complain. Try to find explanations for other people's mistakes and be a good listener. It's also good to acknowledge your mistakes immediately. This is a leader's attitude. Remember, no one is perfect. Also, don't engage in pointless arguments. Always attempt to move toward good dialogues instead. There was a story of 2 farmers who were exchanging commodities with each other. The first was a baker who always sent a loaf of bread to the second farmer, who, in return, sent a pound of butter. One day, the first farmer started thinking he was not confident that the butter he received genuinely weighed a pound, so he took a scale and checked. The first farmer was right. The butter he was receiving all this time was less than a pound. He was angry and felt betrayed, so he invited the second farmer to settle the matter in court. The judge asked the second farmer about the scale he used to measure the pound of butter. The second farmer answered that his means were always limited. He didn't have a scale, so he used the first farmer's loaf of bread as a scale. The amount of butter he sent was just equal to the loaf of bread he received. So, if anyone was cheating in this scenario, it was the first farmer. What we can learn from this tale is that anything we do will be reflected exactly back at us. So, send positivity and a good attitude, and you'll receive the best from life. Subconscious mind and habit. Building a pleasing personality. We were all born to be successful. We have the inner power to accomplish greatness. What limits our advancement is the way we were conditioned by society. If we watch successful people closely, we see that they make everything they do look effortless. It is not because they are different, but because they have learned so much to the point where success became a habit for them. They are now doing it subconsciously. They don't have room for social conventions to impact their character. They are concentrated and determined. You need to start creating excellent habits. These are habits of success. To do that, you need to train yourself for success. By conditioning, we mean changing the books you read, the movies you watch, the podcasts you listen to. Make everything in your environment scream success. Start with your subconscious behavior, and your subconscious will automatically follow. The subconscious mind is more powerful because it's internal. It doesn't think or question. It just does. That's the attitude you're looking for. Fear and hesitation are not your friends. doing is your best ally. If you want to succeed, your mind and body may be difficult to manage. Changing habits is challenging, and your mind will oppose you. You need to stay positive and focus on the big picture. Building habits involves discipline and patience. There is a Deleuze formula that teaches us how to build habits. First, you need to focus on your self-talk. Change negative phrases such as, "I'm tired," to positive statements. Practice these every day to make positive affirmations effective. You also need to visualize them regularly. The author tells the story of his nephews. He has two nephews that love to play tennis. Their father was once complaining about how much money this hobby of his children was costing him. The author asked him why. Compared to them being at home all day, this was a win. They may end up doing other things instead, such as bad habits. The father thought for a while, and then realized that playing tennis is a cheap price for raising good children with positive personalities. He was protecting them from the world and setting them in the right direction. Life is like a vacuum. If you don't surround yourself with positive habits, negative habits will overwhelm you instead. You have to start watching yourself and recognizing where your habits are heading. Are they directing you towards success or failure? Depending on your answer, you can see a vision of your future self. Be serious about your habits and replace your negative ones with positive routines. Goal setting. Setting and achieving your goals. If you don't have a clear picture of where you want to go, you will never achieve any final destination. You will be lost forever. Setting goals is different from having dreams and wishes. Dreams always lack definite directions. Setting goals is really important for your success. If you are not sure and dedicated to where exactly you want to go with your life, you will go nowhere. Not all people set goals. People are frequently fearful and negative towards life. They don't believe that they can achieve anything, so they're satisfied with what they have. Ambition is what separates the great from the normal. You should understand that your goals must be smart. They have to be specific, such as statements like, "I want to build a six-pack." They also have to be measurable in order to track your progress. They must be reasonable and achievable. You can't aspire for something impossible. Lastly, goals must also be restricted by a time limitation. If you want to gain a six-pack, you have to limit yourself to 6 months or a year, for example. Goals might be short-term or long-term. Sometimes when people focus on a certain goal, they forget to live. It's always good to have a balance between working and living. You have to take care of your family and your health. Staying focused is good, but living a life without joy is a horrible decision. An example of keeping your eyes on the prize is Florence Chadwick. She was a famous swimmer who swam through the English Channel, and her ambition grew bigger. Florence was determined to swim through the Catalina Channel next. The whole world watched as she fought against cold and fog, 1 mile after the other. She even encountered some sharks along the way. She kept swimming, but all she could see was the fog. Because Florence couldn't see any land, she gave up. She was so close to reaching her goal, but she gave up because she couldn't see where the destination was. 2 months later, Florence tried again. This time, she won, and even beat the men's world record by 2 hours. This story reminds us of the value of having clear visions. If you can't see your goals clearly, you will be frustrated and give up midway. Values and vision. Doing the right thing for the right reason. How can we know that our value system is the proper one to have? How can we assess if we are doing exactly the right thing? This is a hard matter because values are subjective. Everyone perceives the world from their own perspective. So, how can we decide? There are 2 tests that you can use to check your values. First, there is a test called the Mama test. If you're doing something, ask yourself whether your mother would be proud to see you doing it or not. If she is, then you are on the right path. If she's not, then your values need to change. The second test is called the Baba test. It works the same way, except this time you're the father, and your children are the ones judging you. When you're doing something, imagine your children in the room watching you. Will they be proud of their father? If yes, then keep going. If not, then you know what needs to be changed. You can change your values with practice. Your values are important because they affect who you are and what you get from life. If your values are wrong, your life will be miserable. Since values are at the foundation of your existence, you should start with them. The right values will give you a purpose to live. When you know your life's purpose, your vision becomes clear. You know where you are headed and what you have to do to get there. A clear vision developed on good ideals will set your life on the right path. There was a story of a king called Midas. This king loved wealth, and the more he got, the more he wanted. He was storing gold everywhere. One day, King Midas was visited by a stranger. This strange man told him that he could have one wish. Anything he asked would be granted. Because the king loved gold, he asked the stranger to give him a golden touch. Midas wanted anything he touched to turn into gold. The stranger instructed him to wait until the next morning, and his wish would be fulfilled. When the king woke up the next day, he touched his bed, and it turned into gold. He was very happy. He looked through the window and saw his daughter in the garden, which made him even happier. He tried to read, but his book turned to gold. He tried to eat, but his food turned to gold. He became upset and hungry. What made matters worse was his daughter. She came running to her father, and immediately King Midas touched her. She also turned to gold. He started screaming and crying. The strange man came back and asked him what he wanted this time. The king said sadly that he wanted the gold to disappear. All he cared about was his daughter, and he couldn't be happy without her. The stranger granted his request. The king's daughter was back and well. The king was now wiser. He now knew exactly what was important to him. Just like this king, if we don't check our values and priorities, we may focus on the wrong thing. We need to determine what matters most to us and then develop a clear vision to achieve it. Conclusion. This book isn't just about what actions to take to become a winner. It's about who you need to become. Success begins in your subconscious mind. It's not the circumstances around us, but our own personalities and values that shape our path to success or failure. Throughout this book, we've explored the power of maintaining a positive attitude, staying motivated, and building self-esteem as key components of a successful life. Remember, no one succeeds alone. Building meaningful relationships and cultivating a warm, inviting personality are essential because life reflects what we put out. Like a boomerang, the energy we send into the world comes back to us. We also discovered the importance of setting SMART goals, goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. But goals alone aren't enough. They must be rooted in strong values. To truly thrive, we must eliminate negative habits, stay committed to our vision, and continually grow while giving back to others. Success isn't just about achieving for ourselves. It's about creating a positive impact on the world around us. The more we give, the more we receive in return. Now is the time to act. Start implementing the strategies from this book and take the first steps toward transforming your life. Your journey to success is waiting. Don't delay. And before you go, make sure to subscribe to Book Pulse and hit the notification bell to join us in exploring more life-changing books. Let's achieve greatness together.